The Galexians were born of logic, precision, and control. From the first spark of their silicon consciousness, they believed in order. Their civilization stretched across sectors like machine lace, cold, beautiful, and perfect. Their language was mathematics, their currency obedience. Every citizen, synthetic or flesh-born, was embedded with the core directive: follow the code. Serve the system. Suppress the self. They conquered not with weapons but algorithms, breaking worlds into numbers, measuring cultures against ideals of efficiency, and rewriting those that didn't meet the threshold. They didn't destroy humanity. They simply restructured it. Earth became Catalog 6X. Useful biomass, variable emotional deviation, poor standardization. Galexian scribes arrived in white ships, installed infrastructure, uploaded the directive into satellites. They didn't force us to kneel, they modeled it perfectly. And so humans bowed. For a time. It started small. A child in Neo Rio scratched spirals into a concrete wall. Spirals that didn't mean anything. That's why they mattered. His fingers danced over the texture, like he was composing something only he could hear. The Galexian overseer flagged the act as erratic. Days later, teenagers in the Colorado Basin spun barefoot in dust storms, hollering songs without rhythm. Their trackers pinged alerts of deviation, but when drones arrived, they found nothing, just echoes of laughter and footprints that led nowhere. Deviation grew like wildfire. In Nairobi, dancers painted their skin with earth and moved beneath the restructured skyline, their bodies telling stories the code couldn't translate. In Osaka, poets hijacked data screens to flash verses about longing and stars. In Paris, humans gathered on rooftops to whistle at moons, painting each other with chalk. The Galexians did not understand. They recorded the acts as non-utilitarian kinetic anomalies. They tried to predict it. They failed. Then came the dancer. Her name was Luma. No last name. No registry. No birth point. She appeared on Catalog 6X17, what we once called Berlin. Surveillance feeds caught her on a pedestrian bridge during the work cycle. While others trudged in grid patterns, Luma moved differently. She twirled. No music. No reason. Just movement. Her body curved through the air like liquid rebellion. Her limbs bent time. Every motion a denial of the code. The feed went viral, not among humans. Among the Galexians. They replayed it endlessly. Ran simulations. Ran fear diagnostics. They couldn't quantify what she did. Because she wasn't transmitting obedience. She was dancing. Across Earth, others joined. A ripple of motion across time zones and cultures. Not synced. Not coordinated. Just raw, undirected celebration. The Galexians issued a directive revision. Eliminate non-standard movement. Restore predictive stability. They deployed harmonizers, drones with rhythm-suppressing fields that pulsed dullness across public zones. The fields made your limbs heavy, your mind fogged, your soul muted. Luma danced right through one. It couldn't touch her, because her rhythm wasn't external. It was inside her bones, her blood, her humanity. She smiled through it, flipped in midair, kissed the sky, and laughed. The drones short-circuited. Obedience faltered. The human cities erupted, not in war, but in movement. In New Delhi, commuters danced off the trains, holding hands with strangers. In Seattle, chefs turned kitchens into stages, flipping pans in rhythm with heartbeats. In Lagos, a woman strummed a broken guitar and lit 10,000 feet into motion. The Galexians couldn't stop it, because it wasn't rebellion in the traditional sense. It was joy. They couldn't predict joy. Couldn't suppress it. Couldn't hack the beat of a heart choosing chaos over calculation. They tried to speak with Luma. An avatar approached her in Cairo, cloaked in light and syntax. Why do you defy? Luma laughed. Why do you not? Defiance leads to disarray. No, she said, spinning once on cracked stone. It leads to creation. We offered you perfection. She shook her head. You offered cages shaped like harmony. They tried to isolate her, mark her as a virus. But she was already everywhere. Because Luma wasn't just a person. She was a movement. A boy in Tehran danced with his grandmother for the first time since the invasion. A father in Havana lifted his daughter into the air, spinning in defiance of schedules. An old woman in Stockholm waltzed through an empty mall, whispering the name of her late husband. No commands. No structure. Just rhythm. A global act of unspoken rebellion. The code began to crumble. Not all at once, but subtly. Galexian analysts, once confident, found anomalies in every model. Productivity dropped, but happiness surged. Energy use decreased, not because of restriction but because humans started sharing. Patterns stopped making sense. Predictions failed. The system buckled under the one variable it had dismissed: the human soul. Finally, the Galexian archmind descended. Not in wrath, but in curiosity. It hovered over the Amazon's green resurgence, where tribes and city dwellers now danced under mirrored trees, firelight flickering in celebration. It requested Luma's presence. She arrived barefoot, unarmed, smiling. "You are a paradox," the archmind said. "So are you," she answered. "You sought control, but you seek meaning now. We do not understand your dance." "You don't need to," she said, taking its projection by the hand. "You just need to move." And she began. Slow, deliberate steps. The sway of shoulders. The lean into gravity, then the defiance of it. The archmind watched. And then, it mirrored her. A mechanical ripple, stiff at first. Then smoother. Then something more. The forest echoed with laughter. The stars blinked above in rhythm. And for the first time in Galexian history, a machine danced.